back to the Sodak Motorcycle Vlog, everybody. So, here's something let's talk about today. Let's talk about driving in the city. Now, where I live, it's not a terribly huge city. However, I am in Denver, Colorado today to give you some tips and tricks and things that I use. First of all, if you're going to be riding through a city, you might want to have some experience under your belt. You know, granted, if you're just learning out here, you may not have much of a choice, but you definitely want to at least have some schooling done. You know, at least the basic course, the MSF course, at least. And maybe some riding, maybe city streets or something. You want kind of something before you're going to start riding around the cities, because it's intimidating. It's a crazy, zone. There's tons of traffic. It's very close in. You're moving at very fast speeds. Things change in a hurry. You've got a lot of crazy people out there. So yeah, it can be quite an ordeal, I guess. Let's just say that. Now, when you're out riding, obviously you want to ride with your head on a swivel. Like, this is not the time to set the cruise and relax and just chill. This is the time to step it up, get in the zone. Like, I almost kind of look at like it's almost kind of in a way, a competition. I mean, I'm not really trying to, I guess what I'm trying to win is the fact that I get to ride another day. So, like I said, you got to keep your solid head on your shoulders. You got to and you really got to be good at defensive, or at kind of predicting people. Now, I don't mean don't just do defensive driving and that's it. Because to me, driving in a city, you got to play a balanced. You got to have a pretty balanced attack. You got to play good defense. You got to have a good offense. You can't just do a Peyton Manning in the 2015 Broncos and be like, well, I'm old. Defense, help me out. No, I mean, defense will help you a lot, but in the end, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Now, I'm not being crazy or stupid. I'm talking like be decisive with your movements. If there's a gap somewhere you need to go, go. Just like right there. I kind of saw him coming. I figured he was coming that lane, so I made the quick decision to get ahead of him. But something like that, either you got to make the decision to get ahead or you got to make the decision to back off. Either way, you got to be ready for him. Like, it's kind of like playing hockey. Hockey's a very good example. You got to be running two ways all the time. Because, yep, you might be playing good defense, but if you get that puck out on a rush, you go hammer that thing in the zone. You go try to make a breakaway goal. That's how you do it. So another thing I do is, you'll notice pretty much the whole time I've been in this lane. And there's a reason for it. So the reason why I kind of tend to stay in this lane is so I always have an exit strategy. So, meaning, when you're riding along, if you have an incident like I did in the near miss, which I'm going to have a little card come up here on the top right hand side of the screen, basically had to hit the brakes quick, and my bailout was, oh, police out doing drills. There's some of the best riders around right there. So you'll have, oh, what was I going to say? So yeah, I use it because then I always have an escape route. I don't like to hang around that center lane because you don't have much for escape. Now, if you live in a place like California where you do whitelining, yeah, okay, you can stay in that center lane because you kind of do have an exit toward the center there. But here where you're not supposed to whiteline, now granted, if I'm in the center and I got to take evasive maneuver, I don't give a shit. I'm going in that. But right here, basically, you've always got a shoulder. Now, I'm not all the way over because that's an express lane, and I don't really need to be in the express lane right now, so I'm going to stick out of it. But notice how I'm all the way over here. If something happens, guess what? I'm going to the express lane, and I don't care about the double white line. If it's my life or following the law, guess what? I'm going to choose my life. So, and that's true for anything on a bike. So another thing out here on the road is you need to leave the attitude at home. And what I mean by that is, if you got road rage bad, please and I've said this many times before, just leave the bike at home. Because this is not the time to have road rage. Now you can sit here, I'll cuss out in the helmet all day long and mumble at people under my breath, but in the end I'm not making any massive expressions or anything. As far as I'm concerned on the road, all you're seeing me doing is move the bike around and move my head to do head checks. That's it. Nothing else. I mean, I could be screaming and hollering in the helmet, but in the end, as far as you see on the outside world, I am not doing that. Because in the end, you're on a bike, but if you start freaking out and you're doing hand gestures, especially if you're like me where you got your helmet on, your gear on, you don't look like a human. You kind of got a cyborg look to you, so you're taking the human element away. So yeah, in a way, because if you do stuff like this, you're going to be taking a bike to a car fight, and you don't want to do that, because you will lose. You will lose. No, this is a pretty heavy bike, and it's about 850 pounds, I think. And most of your cars are, and SUVs, and well, SUVs and such are, you're well over 4,000. So you basically got half a ton against 2. That's not very good odds to me. So keep that in mind. Another thing here, and you're watching this right now, fight for your space. Fight for it. Now some would say, oh, well, you got to get in there because that vehicle might go. Yeah, he might. And if he does, guess what? I'm going to adjust my space cushion even more. That's what you need to do. You don't need to ride someone's ass everywhere. I don't give a shit what anybody says. MC Rider absolutely agrees with me. In city traffic, you don't need to be on someone's ass, especially at road speed. Because here's the thing, if you tailgate, you can't see a damn thing. But look at this. So I got a good little gap here. And I can see well ahead of me. The other thing I'm doing is I'm kind of trying to stay out of this vehicle's blind spot, which, come on, dude. Now, sometimes you'll tighten it up just a little bit to stay out of the blind spot, because that's another part of it too. You need to stay out of the blind spots, especially the blind spots of trucks, because they can't see you as well. That's just a fact of life. So stay out of the truck's blind spots. Not to mention, you shouldn't hang around a truck anyway, because a lot of times you'll see those little like alligators out on the road, them chunks of tire tread, them truck tread. Those are from truck tires blowing out. Now if one of those blows out, it's a very bad day. Now I do think that most blowouts are unnecessary. It's lack of people checking air. And once again, all you truckers want to come attack me, I drove a truck for many years, so kiss. I've been driving trucks for years. You know what's funny? I never had one catastrophic blowout. You know I did have though? There was many times when I went out and checked my tires in the morning with the hammer like you're supposed to, with the rubber mallet, and found that, oh, there's a flat tire. I need to fix that before I leave. So, and the reason I say that is because a lot of these guys are not going and checking their truck out. They're not even barely putting a boot on tires. And here's the thing. I've watched it for myself in truck stops. Guys, they'll get up and the engine will start and they're out. Like, they won't even get out of the truck to even look at a tire. Which, that should scare you. And they won't even go around their truck at night and check their tires. That should also scare you. But the reason I'm telling you that is because I'm telling you just stay away from trucks. They have a hard time seeing you, and a lot of things can go wrong by a truck. Otherwise, you can handle a city if you practice and you're smart about it. Right there, you know where that was nice having that space cushion right there? And yeah, I gotta slow up now. Oh well. The world will not end. You just gotta check up for a little bit. Actually, we're gonna get out of here because the sign's in it. Another thing, keep an eye on, like, if you can, I would have some kind of GPS. Some kind of GPS is what you need. Because this is handy as hell when you're trying to navigate. Because one thing, when you're doing all this, it's sometimes easy to miss the signs. Now, for one of them I'm not going to do GPS guys, that's fine, but get something mounted up to your vehicle or some way where you can write out your exits and just kind of write out your exits. And you don't need to get too fancy, but basically you can write it like, hey, turn right at exit 13 this road, something like that, just so you can keep in mind, because you kind of want to know where you're going beforehand. But the nice thing about having a GPS is if something happens, like earlier today when I got off the interstate in the wrong place, it didn't have an exit, I had GPS directions to get me back where I needed to go. Now if you think I was lying, there's the skyscrapers at downtown Denver right there. So yes, I am in Denver. You can see mountains over there. I'm going well over the speed limit. So that's another thing that brings me up. If you're going in the city, kind of keep up with city traffic. Don't set your cruise at your speed and stay there, because that's just dumb. Stay kind of with flow of the traffic. And I would say maybe even go a little bit faster in traffic. Now today I'm kind of feeling like just kind of staying with traffic. The big thing is with flow of traffic, stay with the flow of traffic and then kind of get to your nice space. Like right here, this is a good spot right here. I like this. I'm nice, it's spread out, there's plenty of room. Just keep an eye for a car kind of moving around every once in a while. It does happen. And like I said, this is kind of, to me, the ultimate goal when you're driving through town. Is get to a spot where you got all this wide open space, because this is nice. This is where you can relax, take it easy. And yeah, we're going 70 miles an hour and 55. But hey, you know what? Pace of traffic. Another one of those little get the hell going. Yep. But yeah, there's downtown Denver right there. So, ooh, debris. That's one thing you got to watch for over here is, yeah, there might be some debris, but for the most part, the center lane's fairly okay. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it in your car, but as far as you got a bike, you got a single track, that helps a lot. Now, something like this, I may actually end up kind of staying more towards even the center lane here, so if I got to get outside where there's debris, I can at least get on the center line. Once again, whether you can white line where you live or not, in the end, if it's your life or following a stupid law about white lining, I choose your life. That's just me. Now here's what I'm calling on all y'all that live in the city and do this every day, because here's the thing, I don't do this every day. The town I live in has got 2,000 people. The town I work in has 70,000 people. Yeah. I think you gotta take that times like 6 or 7. You got the population of just Denver. That's not the whole metro, that's just Denver. When you think about it, the Denver metro is larger than South Dakota is, like for population wise. So, like I said, I don't do this all the time, so I'd like some help from you guys. And like I said, whether I'm right or wrong, hell, get on here, tell me I'm an asshole and stupid. Get on here, tell me I'm right. Get on here and be like, you don't know shit, you don't live where I live, whatever. Bear in mind though, I'm going to tell you this much. I have only operated a motorcycle in Denver. That's the biggest thing I've operated a motorcycle. However, when I drove truck, I have driven truck in Minneapolis, Chicago, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Kansas City, St. Louis. Basically, pretty much any Midwest city I've probably been in it. And a lot of this stuff also applies to driving any other vehicle in the city, with the exception of the hanging out on this side because you got a single track and white line. But for the most part, a lot of this stuff still is good. You know, you're a two-way driver. You do offense and defense. You're keeping your following distance. You're paying attention. You're making split-second quick decisions when you need to, and you're laser focused. Now, if you think about it, I'm kind of not following my own rule right now, which is I'm recording a GoPro. However, it is 11:25 in the morning, so we are not in the rush hour. Now, if this was 8 o'clock in the morning, okay, I probably wouldn't be recording this, but since it's 11:25, I'm recording it right now. So, once again, like I said, let me hear from you guys out there in other places. Let me hear from you what works, what doesn't work. You can tell me how much of a loser I am. You can tell me how much of a sissy I am. I don't really care. If you think I'm awesome, hey, by all means, tell me I'm awesome too. I mean, it's kind of nice to get the ego stroke just a tad. But anyways, for the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, this is Clutch, signing off from Denver. Well, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another banging video here from the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. Or maybe you think it sucks, I don't know, whatever. But anyways, I got more where that come from. I got 3 videos popping up on that screen right about now. So, and there's a various assortment of what's on there, so hopefully there's a video you like that's on there. If you already know you want to and you've already made it through this video, go ahead and click the subscribe button here on the bottom right. And if you're not convinced, check out those 3 videos and then hit subscribe.